From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brandsource Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the Record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is October the 27th, 2021, right here in the Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Do not use our roadways as a race course if you're driving a vehicle or if you're operating a vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands as well. Always remember, if you observe the rules of the road, take your time, be courteous to others. The life you save may just be your own. If you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. And if you know anyone who's celebrating a birthday today and you want to give them a shout out, please send us a message. Give us the details. We will give them a shout out as well. If you celebrated a birthday over the past few days, like Mr. Winston Hale, and all of you who are involved in scoutings or other youth organizations as well will know Mr. Winston Hale. He's the executive director of the Cayman Islands Scout Association. He celebrated a birthday yesterday, so we want to wish Mr. Hale a belated happy birthday as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Beautiful, you know who, radio voice of Miss Susan Watson, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925 3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. No guests in the studio this morning. Initially, the leader of the opposition and some members of his party would have been on the show this morning, but they also have a meeting, very important meeting this morning. You did hear that there was a commitment by the government to brief them on the COVID-19 situation and the way forward, and I believe that will be taking place today as well. So we're going to have an open line for you between now and 10 o'clock this morning. Before I grab that caller, I want to share with you this date in history, the 27th of October, and this would have been in 1904. If you have visited New York City or if you have resided in New York City on the 27th of October, 1904, for the first time in his life, Father Knickerbocker went underground. For a first ride in a subway, read the front page of the New York Times on October the 27th, 1904. That day, Father Knickerbocker, the civic personification of New York City, opened his very first subway line, winding 9.1 miles through 28 stations from City Hall to downtown Manhattan, in downtown Manhattan, to 145th Street in Harlem. It wasn't the first subway in the world because the London Underground opened in 1863. Or it wasn't the first in the nation because Boston's MBTA began in 1897. But from this original line grew one of the greatest underground transportation systems in the world. At 2:33 p.m. that day, New York Mayor George McClellan grasped an engraved silver controller, and the first subway roared to life. McClellan was only supposed to start the electric behemoth before handing the reins over to a motor instructor. But he liked the job so much, he drove the train all the way to 103rd Street before relinquishing the controls. The ride marked the start of one of the Big Apple's most iconic features. For better or for worse, it runs like the wind, the Times reported. One passenger saying, but it smells like a cellar. So there's the history of the New York City subway system. Wasn't the first in the world, and wasn't even the first in the United States of America. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Sir O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
Not doing so good right now.
Oh, wow. Tell us about it.
The type of job that I'm in, I have to get tested every Monday. And the previous times, it came back negative. Yesterday, I went on Monday to do my test. And picked up the results on Tuesday. And like every previous Tuesday when I picked it up, it was okay.
Okay.
Yesterday when I went and picked it up, the lady handed it to me as normal, as usual. When I got to my vehicle and checked it, I saw that was positive. And I'm wondering, how is it that it was a positive? The lady printed it out, stamped it, and gave it to me and released me to go.
And this wasn't the first time that you had been through the motions in terms of picking up your test results, because you said that you work in a type of industry where you're tested every week.
Every week, yes, sir.
And on previous times, the same procedure was followed in terms of giving you the results.
That's correct.
Okay.
Printed out and given to me.
Okay. And the nature of your employment means that you come in contact with people on a daily basis?
That is correct.
Okay. And the testing, was that required by your industry or simply by your employer to be on the safe side to protect you as well as to protect their clients?
Both, plus a personal choice, because I have children. With work, I don't want to take home anything to my children or anybody in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got home, I called the HSA and went through all the prompts and got to HR, and I spoke to HR and I said, how is it that I'm positive and I was allowed to leave?
Mm-hmm.
No one said anything to me. He was kind of shocked that took place. So he gave me a number to call to tell them that I was positive and they would get back to me on how to what next to do. I called that number. They took my name and my number and told me that they would call me back in an hour. That was yesterday around 9 o'clock. I haven't heard anything since. So what I did to be proactive was call everyone that I can remember that I came in contact with and told them to get tested.
Okay. So when you called them and told them that you were positive, did they say anything to you at that point in time? Did they give you any instructions as to what you should do? Did they ask you where you were, whether you were at home or whether you were still at your job?
No, sir.
So
they just took my name, my number, and told me that they will call me back in an hour.
Okay. So is it possible that the person who was taking the call, they were just call takers and nothing else? They would have to pass that information on to someone else, I guess. Speculating on that.
That could be the case.
Yeah. Now, after going through this experience, do you have any insights on what the policy should have been once you went there and you collected your results? What should have taken place right then and there?
Most definitely. The person printed it out, and I'm sure she saw the positive. And I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. She might have not. But if you're handing out results, that should be, paramount that you let somebody else know that, this person is a positive case. We should start to or tell them the protocols that would follow being positive.
Right.
But you just handed it to me, and I went along my merry way.
Okay.
And because it took place before, I thought it was negative, so I just went.
Now, is there any information on that result, that report, that says that tells you if you're negative, here's what you do. If you're positive, here's what you do. Anything printed on that result?
No.
Nothing. Wow. So you were put in a situation whereby, if you hadn't looked at that report and just basically taken it for granted that you were negative, you would have traveled, you would have gone about your business and made contact with, everyone. Wow. Any suggestions and advice for the authorities who are dealing with this? Because, we're seeing more and more community spread now and more results. Any advice that you can give them based on your experience?
Yes, definitely. The person that's there handing out the results, they should be more, proactive and look at the results and have something in place where they can always pass it on to the person.
Yep, or be able to then contact a supervisor or something and say, here's the situation, before you actually leave the point. Now, I wonder if there were any issues in relation to the person who was actually giving you the results, whether or not there was any restraint or in terms of them accessing your information to see whether or not you're positive or negative.
No, but I mean, she printed it out.
Yeah.
So, and it's right there, positive.
Uh-huh. And you would not have minded even if she had looked at it.
I would have appreciated that, actually.
Yeah.
So then and there, I would go into somebody and ask them what are the protocols now that I've tested positive.
Yes, yeah. Well, I hope and I trust that someone is listening, in relation to this. I'm not sure whether or not yours is the only experience. I was told yesterday that there was some Facebook traffic in relation to someone putting something out there about testing as well. So I hope and I trust that the authorities are listening in. But keep us up to speed with what's happening with you. And from a health position, how are you feeling now?
Not so good. This COVID-19 is no joke.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. Well, we wish the best for you, hope the best for you, and keep us up to speed.
All right, I will. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in as well. Take care. Folks, time for us to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Maxine Goulburn, Certificate of Honor, 1924-2001. Maxine Goulburn was the fourth child of Edred and Fenbean Banks. She was baptized in 1935 and, at the age of 11, became a member of the Georgetown Seventh-day Adventist Church. After completing her primary education at Georgetown Primary School, she matriculated at Kingsway Academy High School in Jamaica and completed her studies at Northeastern Academy in New York. In 1963, she graduated from New York International College of Business with an associate degree in business administration. The following year, she was hired as secretary/treasurer of the West Indies Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, continuing in that position until 1977. In 1977, she was appointed executive secretary, a position she held until her retirement in 1990. Maxine married Lee Goulburn in the early 1970s, and they adopted a daughter, Latanya. The Cayman Islands Conference has honored her memory with the building of the Maxine Goulburn Youth and Community Center in Newlands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The Rotary Central Music Extravaganza 2021 tickets are here. Get your $25 ticket and stand a chance to win the grand prize of $40,000, second prize $4,000, and 6 $1,000 prizes. The Music Extravaganza music event, Saturday, November 27th at Salty's Grand Harbor, featuring CNB, Deja Blue, The Fabulous 68s. Tickets now on sale by Rotary members, authorized ticket sellers, and at eventpro.ky. 26 years of Rotary Music Extravaganza, funding over 70 community projects of significance since 1995. Rotary Central, Cayman Islands. Registered not-for-profit number 232. Rotary Central. Serve to change lives.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Had a look at those investment options yet?
Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. I will share with you now the COVID-19 update report. That update was issued on the 26th, yesterday, the 26th of October. Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reported that as of 8 a.m. yesterday, there had been 1,101 PCR tests since the last report on Monday, the 25th of October. Of these, there are 2 positive travelers tested on exit from quarantine and 90 positive tests from the community, including 2 children. Of the 2 positive travelers, Dr. Lee said, he's quoted as saying, they'll now obviously remain in isolation until they test negative. There were 2 admissions to hospital of people or persons positive for SARS-CoV-2 in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of hospitalized patients to 4. The 2 recent admissions are requiring supplemental oxygen. Of prior admissions, one has been hospitalized since early September, and the other was admitted for an unrelated matter. Dr. Lee is quoted as saying, "I know a lot of you will be feeling frightened or worried with this increase in numbers, but they really are, as we might anticipate, with this being such an infectious disease." He explained, and I quote, "It's important to understand that once this degree of infectious disease is in the community, you can't really put the genie back in the bottle. It's with us as we move to reopen the borders further." Chief Medical Officer asks all residents to take the recommended safety precautions. In the meantime, he's quoted as saying, "I really need to ask you to follow the advice of people that you trust and have trusted for a good long while, and the information sources that are trusted out there too. So do please mask, distance, look after the elderly in the community and the vulnerable, and protect them as much as you can." That's what Dr. Lee has asked. He also advised people to get vaccinated to protect themselves from serious illness if they have not already done so. He's quoted as saying, "Please also consider getting vaccinated if you're not yet vaccinated." Overwhelmingly, around the world, the people who are admitted to hospital with serious illnesses and who unfortunately die, a huge majority of these are those that are unvaccinated. So we can see the evidence that it will protect you. Goes on to say that public health is reminding all households that have undergone testing for COVID-19 that they must continue to isolate at home, whether test results have been received or not, until they're advised they can leave by a public health official. And then it talks about the vaccination clinic. Just want to say that the first caller that we had this morning, his situation seemed to be a little different than the rest, and it is quite clear that in his particular case, he fell through the cracks because the cracks were there, and those cracks need to be filled. Those little gaps in there need to be filled to ensure that when a person if they come in, walk in, and they receive their results, they know what it is before they leave. Because when they leave, they need to know exactly where they're leaving to, whether or not they're going directly home to isolate or otherwise as well. Let's grab the caller before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Hello. I am all miscombobulated right now because I had this big situation with my IT carrier now. This that issue pales in comparison to the cat that just jumped out the bag with a gentleman caller about his situation with the public health Cayman.
Yes.
But I would just like to thank this gentleman for actually calling in, because a lot of this kind of, I call it unprofessionalism, is happening surrounding this public health issue of COVID-19. I can tell you about it. I use the phone sometime and I call and I get nowhere. People that had locked down because of the Georgetown primary issue a while back, stranded, calling, can't get a solution anywhere. So it's not the first time, though it's the first time I've heard it so eloquently, in the public domain from somebody who is a person in a position where they can speak. They're the patient.
Yes. And sorry, you go ahead. Sorry.
I thank the gentleman so much because as a Caymanian, this is a huge issue. And it's not about filling the gaps necessarily by the people who are in charge over there at public health. I think their hands are full and overfull. But if I sat anywhere where I was handing a result, I don't know anything about medicine, though I would like to know all about medicine, but I don't know. But if I sat down there and I was given certain instructions, I would have to say, if I didn't know what to do, if I had no medical knowledge at all,
right,
but knew that this person was coming through and this looked a positive, I would have to say to somebody in charge and at the hospital, there's somebody on duty at all times. This man, it looks positive to me. Would you look at this to see what it means and what do I tell this person? Or you come out here and tell this person something.
Yes.
It's a common sense issue.
And here was an individual who did everything, it appears, did everything correctly, being proactive in terms of being tested every week because of the nature of his work and coming in contact with people. Yeah.
So I don't know if they work, I guess, along with under the auspices of public health, but really, you're on the ground. It's for you that got that front-facing position to let the people at the top who making the decisions and working their fingers to the bone, as well as you maybe yourself, but you got to make them know what's happening on the ground.
Yep. Got to run, 8 o'clock news, but stay in tune and please call me back if necessary. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Corner. And studio time by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
School's back, so it's time to give a kid breakfast. Thanks to Tropicana, Quaker, and Foster's.
That's right, and you could win an Apple MacBook for yourself, plus a morning's breakfast, and $1,500 worth of school equipment to a local school of your choice.
Plus, it's super easy to enter. Just purchase any 2 Tropicana or Quaker products at Foster's from now until September 25th and enter online.
Win an Apple MacBook and give back to a local school with Foster's Give a Kid Breakfast, thanks to Quaker and Tropicana, proudly distributed by Progressive Distributors.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 31st of December 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A new approach to numeracy. Radio Cayman's April Cummings is at John Gray High School this morning, where educators, students, and families are enjoying a kickoff party celebrating the importance of math.
All right, you can't hear it right now, but it's been a bit of a party here at John Gray High School this morning as the school puts the focus on the relevance of numeracy. As students show up, they're encouraged to take a photo in the numeracy booth. There's music pumping in the background. And then throughout the day, Year 7 students in particular will be on kind of a mission. They'll be visiting different classrooms, seeking out the signs of numeracy in practical usage, and then coming together at the end of the day for prizes and shout-outs. We'll have more on today's numeracy launch on Radio Cayman News. From John Gray High School, April Cummings for Radio Cayman News.
Teaching and Learning Coordinator John Gray High School, Rule Houghton, tells Radio Cayman the new program will help students see the relevancy of numeracy in all subject matters, not just mathematics.
We've got a logo that you see many of the teachers and staff and the parents and students wearing. And what that logo will be, anywhere a student sees that in any other subject area, they know that numeracy is somewhat involved. So if, for example, you're in an airport in a foreign country and you see a sign with a male and a female, right away you know the bathroom is pretty close by. So once you're at school, once you see that symbol, it's probably at the canteen, probably in the gym, wherever, you know that numeracy is involved or pretty close by.
In other news, the Cayman Islands Athletic Association sends its deepest condolences on the passing of legendary sporting pioneer Coach Jerry Harper. Radio Cayman's Dion England has the details.
In its recent press release, the Cayman Islands Athletics Association stated that its members are in deep mourning with respect to Jerry Harper's death. CIAA said Coach Harper in many ways could be described as the father of the modern athletics in the Cayman Islands. As an educator, they said he brought with him the ability to not only coach, but more importantly, to teach the fundamentals of the various disciplines of the sport. The achievements of his Barefoot Brigade is legendary in the annals of local athletics. A no-nonsense administrator, Coach Harper served as the second vice president of the association from 2003 to 2008 and could always be called on to provide knowledgeable contribution and guidance to the meetings of the executive body during his term in office, as well as at general meetings of the association. His involvement in the sport was not confined to track and field events but extended to road races, a segment of the sport that grew leaps and bounds under his guidance. He was instrumental in keeping the executive and the association on the development and performance of overseas-based college and professional athletes with whom he remained in constant touch and all of whom came to share a close bond with Coach Harper. A giant of a man, CIAA said despite his physical stature, Coach Fat Calves, as he was known, will be soundly missed by the athletic community in general and by the CIAA in particular. Coach Harper is the second track and field coach to have died this year, the first being Mr. Derek Larner in January, and the executive of the association have undertaken to honor the names of both coaches in a permanent way, starting with the upcoming season. Reporting for Radio Cayman Sports, I'm Dion Anglin.
And just a quick note for all those baseball fans out there, the Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros in Game 1 of the World Series Tuesday night. Final score was 6-2. Now with the check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. An independent panel will investigate allegations that the Indian government used spyware against journalists, critics and politicians. It was set up by the Supreme Court. The opposition leader, Rahul Gandhi, is said to have been among those targeted with the Pegasus spyware. Sudan has been suspended from all African Union activities following Monday's military takeover. The AU called the coup unconstitutional and said the ban would remain in place until the Civilian Transitional Authority has its powers restored. Demonstrations against the coup are continuing in the capital Khartoum. The European Court of Justice has imposed a €1 million daily fine on Poland after it refused to suspend the disciplinary chamber critics say is aimed at strengthening government control of the judiciary. The dispute is one of a series over the rule of law in Poland. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th of April, 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 10.5% and 43.2%. And our all-in expense ratio for year ended 30th of June, 2020 is currently the lowest it's ever been. 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
World Polio Day is celebrated on October 24 annually. We pause to reflect. Beginning with our first polio project in the Philippines in 1979, Rotary International has worked diligently to eradicate polio around the world. Rotarians have contributed over $2.1 billion and countless volunteer hours partnering with the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, eliminating polio from 5 of the 6 World Health regions. protecting nearly 3 billion children in 122 countries from a disease affecting children under the age of 5. 35 years later, we are this close, 99.9% accomplished, just a step away from a polio-free world. A message from Rotary Central Cayman Islands. Serve to change lives.
Do you want to serve your community? How about learning new and exciting skills? The Cayman Islands Regiment is now accepting applications for volunteers. Caymanian and permanent resident applicants should be between 18 and 50 with a clean police record. No military experience is required. Apply online at www.gov.ky/CI Regiment. Applications close on November 15th, 2021.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
Pan American Life Insurance Group can help you take your employee benefit solution to the next level. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIG because we've always delivered on our promise. PALIG is the only insurer providing group policies to as few as 3 employees and has the ability to combine life, health, disability, and income protection to provide you and your employees with a complete employee benefits package. Let us customize your employee benefit solution today. Call us at 949-8304 or visit our office at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, or visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
That's a good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 84 degrees. Relative humidity is 92%. The barometric pressure, 29.91 inches and rising. The winds are variable at 2 knots. Overnight low temperature was 78 degrees. Synopses indicate light winds and smooth seas are expected over the Cayman Islands due to a weak pressure gradient over the western Caribbean. Now the forecast for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s today and will fall to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide is occurring at the moment. The next high tide will be this afternoon at 3 minutes after 4, and a low tide again tonight at 10:38. The sun will set this evening at 5:53 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:25. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
We at Pan American Life Insurance Group are here to help you protect your family and your income. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIG because we have always delivered on our promise. Life insurance is not only about death, but also about living benefits. We'll help you secure the life insurance, accident and sickness disability income you need to protect you and your family. Call us today at 949-8304 or visit our office, Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, or visit www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress. It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
And top of the morning to you, let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Busy traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway and coming off of Agnes Way. Steady traffic off of Bobby Thompson Way. Slow-moving traffic on Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving on moderately. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue traffic flowing at a good pace, and a little steady but flowing traffic on Huldah Avenue. From the West Bay 4-way, stop traffic is moving at a good pace, and light to moderate traffic flow on Edward Street. And traffic on Sheridan Road flowing moderately, as well as on the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz. And that's the very latest on your traffic. If you've seen accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, make sure you give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
Are you planning a social, an office party, or event over the holiday season? Make the most of your holiday party and leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway Box to Go with the option of a 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. Cater your holiday parties with Subway. Visit subway.ky for menu options. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You can now register to receive a securely verified digital copy of your COVID-19 vaccination status with QR code through the My HSA patient portal. Sign up is available at all HSA locations and at various sites throughout the community. To register, all you need is your photo ID showing date of birth and a valid email address. Visit hsa.ky and click My HSA Patient Portal for the sign-up schedule and more information.
All the world's greatest inventions were initially misunderstood.
Compute what?
Except for KFC's Pizza, a pizza made with all chicken and no crust, tomato sauce and pepperoni, topped off with delicious melted cheese. An invention that is understood from the very first bites. Pizza from KFC. No need to explain. You just need to taste it.
Try Pizza at KFC Shedden Road and KFC Baytown today.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I have several WhatsApp messages that I want to share with you where persons have expressed their opinions. Before I do that, we do have an additional press release in relation to the two positive tests in Cayman Brac, and this was issued yesterday as well, around about 5:32 in the evening, and it reads, 2 tests positive for COVID on Cayman Brac. Public Health can confirm that 2 individuals in Cayman Brac have tested positive for the viral disease COVID-19. A symptomatic walk-in patient at Faith Hospital was found to be positive after being tested yesterday. A primary contact of the patient who had come to the hospital with her also tested positive. A second primary contact is being tested or was being tested that afternoon. Public Health has already begun contact tracing for the incident, which healthcare officials stress is in no way connected to the Little Cayman case reported the day before, which would have been on Monday. The press release goes on to say that as part of the contact tracing process, 62 individuals attended a routine walk-in COVID-19 screening clinic at Faith Hospital, and results are currently pending. And here's some advice. Individuals who develop flu-like symptoms or whose existing symptoms worsen, As an example, they experience difficulty breathing, should call the flu hotline on 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077. I will repeat this again for you. Individuals who develop flu-like symptoms or whose existing symptoms worsen, as an example, they experience difficulty breathing, you should call the flu hotline on 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077. In emergency situations, you should call 911 as well. And for anyone who is seeking information on how to cope with COVID-19 in the community, you may contact the Public Health Department at telephone number 244-2632 or visit www.explore.ky. Also, some figures for the sister islands. The percentage of each sister island's population that has been fully vaccinated is as follows: 95% in Little Cayman and 83.5% in Cayman Brac as well. So we have all of those contact numbers, and I would advise or encourage, I would encourage government officials to get as many phone lines in there as possible. Get cellular phones, and I'm sure Digicel and Flow would probably donate them, that you can have additional persons there. People are getting frustrated when they call and they can't get a response. I continue to emphasize that if you call and you don't get a response, keep calling. Eventually someone will respond as well. But I'm no expert, but based on the numbers that we're seeing, this situation, as far as community spread, appears as if it's going to get worse before it gets better. We don't want people to panic. We want them to feel reassured that their situations are being addressed. And one way to do that is to ensure that they can reach someone on the other end of the phone line as well. Another listener has written in and said, asked me to share this with the public. They say that they went yesterday to get their booster shot at the Lions Center and had to spend quite a lot of time there. When compared to the airport, it is not running as smoothly. It would seem that the procedures are totally different, and this bears asking the question that if something works well, why change it? Okay, so those, again, who are listening, take a look at your procedures. People are giving us feedback. Some people choose to give feedback. Others may stay quiet about it, and we may not know. But it's good for the feedback, because that's how we learn, and that's how we learn to improve as well. Okay, and this listener says, can you start a discussion about the rip-off private health insurance cartel here in Cayman and why we don't have a single payer system? So I'll have to do some research on that, see if we can get someone in who knows about health insurance and the payer system. But if you know something about it, you don't necessarily have to be in the studio. You can call us, our toll-free number, which won't you won't incur a charge if you're a Flow customer. 1-800-534-8255. If you know anything about private health insurance, and if you know anything about the single payer system, give us a call. We have some persons out there who would like to know more about it. And then they also had a concern. They want to talk about how persons are cut off from home loans at the age of 65. This is considered age discrimination in the United States and is illegal. Why is it allowed here in the Cayman Islands? And of course, if you were getting a government home loan, you could bring a constitutional challenge against the government in relation to age discrimination. But unfortunately, our Constitution, the way that it is now, you can only challenge the government because the Bill of Rights only deals with governmental actions, not those in the private sector. So maybe we need to look at expanding the remit of our Bill of Rights in the Cayman Islands as well. No doubt the private sector will put up a fight against that, but if it's a fight that they want, it's a fight that we should give them if it means a benefit for people of the Cayman Islands as well. Person goes on to say that they are 60 and their financial institution told them that their loan would have to be paid off in full by the time they reach age 65. And in this particular case, their payments would be over $6,000 per month. Their mortgage payment would be if they have to pay it off by age 65. And they said, Billy, if you're listening, Billy Samamba, they need you here in the Cayman Islands to advocate for them, Billy. If you know anything about single-payer systems, Billy, give us a call as well. Got some good news for those of you who may be studying in the UK, or if you have children who may be going to the UK to study as well. It looks as if the authorities over there, including the Chancellor, who would be our equivalent here in the Cayman Islands, would be our Minister of Finance. And there's an article in the Guardian newspaper that talks about university tuition fees could be cut to £8,500 per month. And it says that, and this is exclusive then, that the Treasury Department in the UK is known to be unhappy about the cost of student loans that are never paid back. But be that as it may, it appears as if high-level discussions have been held at Whitehall over controversial proposals to cut university tuition fees from £9,250 to £8,500, sources have told The Guardian. Officials from number 10 Downing Street, which is the Prime Minister's office, the Treasury and the Department for Education are said to have been engaged in lively talks about a possible cut to fees, but have struggled to thrash out an agreement in time for the Chancellor's spending review, which will take place in Parliament fairly soon. Says an announcement on changes to higher education is long overdue following the 2019 Augar review of post-18 education, which recommended tuition fees were cut from £9,250 to £7,500 as part of a radical overhaul of university funding. According to one source, the Treasury has been pushing for a tuition fee cut to £8,500, which would reduce the amount undergraduates have to borrow and, in turn, the amount of unpaid debt picked up by the state if they fail to repay the fees within 30 years. So repayment of over 30 years, that should be pretty good. Have to go to a commercial break now. When we return, I'm going to share the remainder of this article about tuition fees in the United Kingdom, because as we know, those of you who hold British passports here in the Cayman Islands, you are entitled, if you attend university in the UK, to those reduced fees as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go, pure and cleaner.
From now on until October 30th, take advantage of our 12% discount on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays on all ladies and gents wearing apparels on orders $18 and up, except on wedding dresses and evening gowns, which will remain at the standard price at 10% off prepay. Offer valid at all 3 locations: Savannah Countryside 946-1884, Elgin Avenue 949-2452, and Eastern Avenue Drive-Thru, rain or shine, 949-7104. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you know you look good.
Some believe cancer doesn't happen to people who are young, healthy, and happy, but it does.
The Lions Club of Tropical Gardens invite the community to join the Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Virtual Walk Run, October 29th to 31st, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Walk any day between October 29th to the 31st.
Walk alone, run with a team, or participate with your family. Registration is only $25 at eventpro.ky or the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop on Shedden Road, located across from the Mango Tree Restaurant parking lot. Registration includes a t-shirt or tank top and raffle entry. Funds raised will help to support mammogram screenings. Post your walk-run photos to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hashtag BTL Walk Run. Hashtag LCTG Breast Cancer Awareness. Email photos to bcawareness@gmail.com. The Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Virtual Walk Run, October 29th to the 31st.
Just never give up.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Susan, any calls? No calls? Hopefully they're all listening in, and when I hit a chord somewhere, hit a nerve, someone will call in. But meanwhile, I have lots of stuff to share with you. No problem. You know, when on Monday I kept saying I'm wondering whether or not I was being boycotted and stuff like that. But they never catch me off guard. I'll tell you that. When they don't show up, I always ensure that I have a backup plan. As well. But I want to thank all of you out there who are listening as well, and I hope that the information that I am giving to you, that you will find it useful, or some of you will find it useful as well. So it appears as if in the United Kingdom, when you get a university loan, when you get loans for education, you're given 30 years to pay it off as well. So the article goes on to talk about the cut, and it says that the cut is said to have been opposed by officials at the Department for Education, and number 10, who warned it could have a devastating impact on universities' finances when they are already under pressure from rising inflation. Ministers have also been considering cutting the threshold at which graduates begin to pay their tuition and maintenance loans from just over £27,000 to £23,000 as part of an overhaul of student financing designed to save the Treasury billions of pounds. Sources suggest there may be little detail on higher education in the Chancellor's spending review, which is taking place today, with an announcement at a later date once an agreement has been finalized. The director of the Higher Education Policy Institute, think tank and special advisor to the university's minister in 2012, when tuition fees in England were raised, said debates in Whitehall on the issue has been extremely lively. This person thought that the cuts in the scale recommended by a report looked increasingly unlikely in the current climate, though a smaller reduction may be more palatable and might have stayed on the table. This report recommendation of a cut of almost 20% to £7,500 has come to look implausible, especially in the context of rising inflation, as it would have a dramatic impact on institutional finances, wrote. Person says, imagine being a Tory MP, that is a member of the Conservative Party, for a red wall seat with a higher education institution that might be pushed to the wall by such a cut. You are not going to hold your seat easily. Therefore, you are not going to support such a change. So what this person is saying here is that the political realities of the situation, depending on where you are as far as the seat that you hold, will determine what type of support such a measure will get. Article goes on to talk about the fact that with outstanding student loans reaching $140 billion last year, the Treasury is desperate to reduce the cost of the student loan system in England as well. But these people talk about this amount of money as if, students and families that have students, they don't pay their taxes and everything else as well, and they're not entitled, to all of this. But yet, the one percenters are the ones who are getting away with so much. We see that happening in the U.S. It probably is happening right in the U.K. as well. The ones with lots of money, they get away with everything, and those who have very little are the ones who are squeezed at the end of the day. But I say to you, watch this space or continue to follow it if it will impact you in any way. That is, if you're a student, even here in the Cayman Islands, applying for a student loan from the government, the difference of, £1,000 or more, £2,000 can mean a lot in terms of government's ability to spread out more money for more students as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. Billy Sinamba here.
Hey, good morning, good morning. You heard the calls for you. They said they need you here in the Cayman Islands. They need a vocal advocate.
Well, I just joined you precisely because I was trying to finalize some deadline. I missed that. Usually I would catch it, but I share that feeling and so on. At the moment, it's not very practical, but I hope that it will happen, sometime soon. Now, the vocal advocacy has to go on, though, and I want to talk a little bit about beach access and a little bit also about what you said the other day about judicial review.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You see, I think that there's need to hold, frankly, the Office of the Attorney General more accountable. Right now, there's this case which is going on regarding the rights of way by Royal Palms, and it went very well on Friday. With respect to that, and the new chairman, Uri Da Costa of the Public Lands Commission, has really shown that he's hands-on because he was in court together with his members and that's really good. You see, for example, you've got a case where sometimes a document is supposed to be sent to the interveners in the case, and the document winds up with the Registrar of Lands, but the interveners are left out. And then you've got cases sometimes, in one case where a judge signed a judgment, but the draft judgment was not reviewed by the other side. And there are a lot of these things which they actually make it look very untransparent. And I think that the AG's office needs to be more open, and also the courts need to be more aware that there are people who are trying to make it lean to its side. In a sense, that's what court process is about.
Now, Billy, before you go any further, for the benefit of us laymen, can you explain what who an intervener is?
Okay, yes. An intervener is a person who, for example, a court case begins between two parties or more parties, and then there is a third party who says, "Hey, I have got an interest in this matter. Can I be added on to the case, although I am not a person suing or being sued? But can I be added on?" And that's what happened with the rights of way cases, because it was really between DART and the government. And the ladies from the valiant ladies from West Bay said, "Hey, look, we have to intervene. We are interested in this. We are members of the public, together with some other people. I always love mentioning the 3 West Bay ladies because they are very conspicuous, but there are others who are involved in that.
Yes.
But anyway, but the bigger issue, OC, is this. A government which has come into power must declare what the policy is on beach access. Why does it have to be that individuals in the community have to go out and try to preserve this thing which is a Caymanian heritage?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When I listen to Steve McPhail talk about how different families over the generations used to camp in this area, he can name names of who used to camp here, which family, and what accesses they used to use, and so on. You understand that this tradition of beach access is ingrained in the Caymanian experience, and yet somehow the government can't come out and say, hey, look, we are going to protect these accesses, and if there is a problem in the law, we will change the law. I think that is the bigger issue, and I think the new packed government, together with the AG, have to come out and be able to resolve this matter, because it can't be resolved with every beach access case which arises. For example, look at Billy Adam has pointed over the years, together with a lot of other activists, about how 200 beach accesses, there were about 500 affidavits prepared and submitted to government to say these accesses must be protected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And for decades this has gone on. Nobody has done anything about it. So are we going to go to court with every case? How many cases are we going to have? 200? Okay? It's not possible.
Yeah.
But let me talk about, very, very briefly, since I've taken some time, about the judicial review case. I listened to you talk about that, and following your talk, I had a chat with a number of people. And people are interested in that OC. Judicial review is very important. When every little person out there, whether you are applying for a license, a liquor license, you are applying for PR, applying for planning permission, and so on,
mm-hmm.
It is potentially a matter for judicial review. It is something really which should be very easy for people to do. And in Australia, what they have done is, because of the expense of judicial review, they created a huge body, like a civil service-wise body, where every decision before going for judicial review is appealed to that body. Now, in Cayman, yes, we do have appeal bodies here and there, but in some cases there's no appeal body. The only thing that you have to do is get $50,000 minimum so that you can go and have a matter reviewed.
Yes.
And I realized this when I was working in government, because the problem with judicial review is also on the government side. A lot of people in government, chief officers and those kinds of people, make mistakes which are obvious, and by the time legal gets involved, the matter has already gone to lawyers, costs have been incurred, and so on. And one of the ways in which you avoid government wasting money like that is to teach people in government how to avoid judicial review.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's where I tried to come in. I designed a course specifically for Cayman so that I could teach people in government how to avoid judicial review, which would have helped both sides. It would have meant on government you are not making mistakes, obvious mistakes. It would have meant those people who are entitled to a particular permit or license are not being denied that. It was going to be overall good for the society. But what happened? They prevented me from teaching it.
Yes.
And I only taught it once or twice, but otherwise it was boycotted. Why? But that's not good for the public, OC. And I think you should continue highlighting this issue about judicial review. Oh, by the way, the last thing which I should close with, the issues relating to costs in the Cayman Islands are not good, because they passed this new law now to say, oh, you should be able to get legal aid and then you can get a protective order for costs. Those are things you have to apply for.
Okay.
They have to make it easy to do, because the Attorney General, by the way, he doesn't pay costs generally speaking. There's a rule which says that unless he brings forward a totally useless case, he must never pay costs, and that's not fair. It must cut both ways.
Okay.
Thanks very much, OC.
Thank you very much, Billy, again. Stay safe and keep in contact. We have to take a commercial break, Ms. Susan, if we have any callers. We will take those calls as soon as we return, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Had a look at those investment options yet?
Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
During October, the Department of Children and Family Services celebrates Older Persons Month. As part of this year's theme, Digital Equity for All, the DCFS will be offering classes for those over 65 on how to better use their phones. Modern phones can do so much. Learn to take great pictures, connect and stay in touch with your loved ones, and how to take care of your banking and errands. Workshops on these topics are being held throughout the Older Persons Month at the Older Persons Active Aging Center. Please call 949-0290 to book your spot. That is 949-0290.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. On Monday, when I was guest hosting for Sterling, Dwayne, we had members from the NDC, National Drug Council, here in the studio with us. And one of our listeners wanted to send a message, and I was unable to convey it at that time, to thank everyone for the Ground Zero that they had planned, as well as they wanted to give a special thanks to Mr. Miller for the work that he has been doing for so many years with the NDC as well. So I wanted to pass that on to everyone. Also, Mr. Hale, the members from the Scouts Band, wanted to wish Mr. Winston Hale a belated happy birthday as well. Okay, and someone has a query about what's in the vaccine, and I believe that is on the HSA's website. They're unable to do that. Okay, I'll try to see if I can find it, and if not, on this show, definitely be able to pass the information on to them as well. Okay, so few things I wanted to share with you as well. Let's see which one I'm going to choose first. So I have this one. I think this is important. And this one sort of like ties in with one of the writers about the about bank mortgages and everything. Barbados. Those of you who have debit cards and credit cards in the Cayman Islands will know, you should have an idea of what type of fees that you are paying as well. So here is what they have done in Barbados. The Central Bank of Barbados has intervened to make banks and credit unions reduce the debit card fees they are charging individuals and businesses. And I'm going to stop there for a second because we have had persons in the Cayman Islands complain about the fact that some banks charge various fees in relation to your ability to cash a check with them if you're not a customer, and things of that nature, and have questioned, well, what can the government do about that? What is it that the government can do? We know that our regulatory authority here in the Cayman Islands is the Monetary Authority, the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. What teeth and what powers they have, some persons may question and say that it may be too limited, in terms of the powers that they have. So in Barbados, the central bank has done that. And it goes on to say that the governor announced today, there's something on the screen here. I have to try to see how I get rid of that. Coming back to you soon. Okay. The government, okay. So the governor of the Barbados Central Bank announced yesterday that if effective the 1st of November, financial institutions can charge no more. So they're telling them, how much you can't charge any more than this. You can't charge any more than $3 per transaction when customers use automated teller machines. Those are ATMs, other than those owned by their bank or credit union. So if you use if you perform a transaction using an ATM that is other than your bank or your credit union, they cannot charge you any more than $3. Not sure whether or not the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority here in the Cayman Islands has that type of clout, or whether or not there is legislation in the Cayman Islands that limits how much they can charge. Goes on to say that also, when you use your point of sale card at a merchant, some banks, it's free. For some banks, it's free. But for others, there was a charge. But come the 1st of November again in Barbados, there will be no charge for using your Visa, debit card, or MasterCard at a merchant. The governor of the Central Bank of Barbados also said that in a brief statement, said that at the end of his third quarter, that was at the end of his third quarter press conference that he received that. The article goes on to say that Barbadians and the business community have been complaining about the high fees banks and credit unions have been imposing since the banks decided to move on from the Caribbean Integrated Financial Services Limited Automated Debit Switch that linked ATM machines and point-of-sales terminals across Barbados to the Visa and MasterCard platforms. It's quoted as saying, "We believe that this is an initial step that we are taking, and we reserve the right for further intervention once we have assessed how the market is responding. We need to be fair to customers, both in terms of individuals, in terms of merchants, and in terms of the financial institutions," said the governor said. Central Bank explained that its initial action was intended to standardize the interchange rates for Visa and MasterCard debit card transactions, and to cushion the impact of the increased fees on depositors and the business sector. So here we have a situation where you have an institution, the Central Bank of Barbados, that has clout. And I'm asking this question for a friend. Do we need a central bank in the Cayman Islands? If you have the answer, if you pass it on to me, I'll pass it on to that friend as well. Ms. Susan, top of the hour, headline news. Folks, I want to remind you the phone lines are open. We do have a caller, but I would only have about a minute to give that caller some time, so we're going to wait until after the headline news. Meanwhile, our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call in 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. Please stay tuned for The Record. We'll be back shortly.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 1,101 COVID-19 tests on Tuesday. 92 came back positive, 2 in travelers, the rest attributed to community spread. 2 cases are also in children. Additionally, 2 people were admitted to the hospital over the last 48 hours, both requiring supplemental oxygen. Hong Kong's legislature has passed a new law banning films deemed to violate China's national security interests, the latest blow to freedom of expression in the territory. Punishment for violating the law includes up to 3 years imprisonment and $130,000 in fines. Critics say the legislation will stifle the vibrant local film industry. Last year, China imposed a national security law in Hong Kong that effectively outlawed dissent. And Strictly Come Dancing judge Shirley Ballas has thanked the BBC One show's viewer for helping her discover, quote, concerning symptoms in her body. The TV star said several viewers had gotten in touch to say they thought they had spotted a lump under her arm. She wrote on Instagram that her doctor was, quote, making an appointment to check certain odd things happening in her body. Those are your latest headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines as promised. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for being so patient.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
I take the chance when I can get it, you know. Listen, back on the previous topic about the central bank and, you know, the thing with Barbados. You know, there's something I've always wondered and inquired a couple of times about. Why don't we have a central bank, given that we are supposedly this big financial center, banking center and stuff. Is it because we are not an independent nation that we can't have it? Or, I really don't know, because in my view, we should have a central bank with more authority, more teeth to do like what the central bank in Barbados did. When these commercial banks are exhorting people, I would call it, or extorting rather than exhort, people, because it's ridiculous, the fees and the interest and all that stuff that they can literally willy-nilly charge, and it would be interesting to find out whether or not the monetary authority has any power to do anything, and if they don't, could it be,
why shouldn't they have it? Yes, if they don't.
Why shouldn't they have it? And because really and truly, who's to oversee the banks? The banks do as they want, when they want, and then everybody suffers, And, the sad thing about it, I hope it don't happen, but if the credit interest is reduced in Barbados, right, and, most of these banks that operate here, they have their governed or they're operated or, from Barbados or Trinidad.
Yeah, their headquarters,
So, right. So if they lose it in Barbados, they might add it on and make it back,
Yeah.
One thing about to give up nothing,
Because we know in many cases, I shouldn't say many, but in some cases, some of those corporations, their other businesses overseas are actually subsidized by their businesses in Cayman because the businesses here do so well.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're funding and supporting plenty places. This is probably their most or one of their most profitable centers.
Yes.
And they do very little to assist. The local people, in terms of mortgages and stuff, so it would be interesting to find out if the monetary authority could be, turned into a central bank, or at least given some more powers or whatever it is that it would take for them to have more say into how the banks operate. Yeah.
Okay. Before you go, I had a question too the other day, and I thought it was sort of, we have this know your customer rule that these financial institutions have to observe, right? But the query that I had is, what does know your customer mean? If, for instance, I have already put on my application form or whatever forms I have to complete how much money is likely to be deposited into my account every month or every week or whatever, and you don't see any changes in that in terms of it going up and stuff, why is it that you have to continuously update them? Is it every 12 months, every 24 months or whatever? If you already know your customer, what more is it that you need to know about them?
I think that's a fair approach, because what it would like to give the impression is that, it's a kind of personal thing, like, we know you as a friend, and we're trying to work with you. They're just trying to get as much information out of you as to how they can gouge you. That's how I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, brother.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Stay safe, please. Please stay safe. Another caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again.
You said it. I wasn't going to say it.
Mr. Connor?
Yes, ma'am.
You keep knocking me off my little perch this morning. As the East End would say this morning. Mr. Connor, I want to find out about this is directed toward off-reg and the television service, telephone service providers in this country. Some of them are television providers as well.
Okay.
I wonder what it is off-reg is really charged with doing, because it seems like everybody has a different definition of what off-reg is all about. So it would lead me to ask if there is any oversight in this country for persons with, heavy tech marketing for themselves. I mean, that's the business they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And the poor old consumer like myself, that we can't live without technology nowadays. And I mean, the very basic is a telephone to make a call and send a little text. But we can't come out, in my humble opinion, as that we get worth for money from the providers. And I'm wondering if any body, any commission is set up, any minister is concerned about really what seems, in my mind, and not only my mind, just open the phone lines for it, and I'm sure you will be inundated for what is happening with these technical companies. And one in particular, it is as if they do what they want, and nobody is just collecting money and nickeling and diming the poor people. So I would just ask the minister responsible for this area to try to do something or say something, or
more oversight and more accountability.
That's exactly where I'm going. If there is no oversight, then we need some oversight. If oversight exists, and I'm thinking of, like, I don't want them to sue me now because I'm thinking, I don't know. If somebody do something to help us, please. They are nickeling and diming the poor people and telling them things like, oh, we look at that in terms of seconds. Listen to me, man. My mathematics not so good, but it's not so bad. But people my mother's age who still use a phone, they can nickel down in seconds as compared to minutes when it comes into their balances and so on and so forth. And we shouldn't expect them to do it. In other words, there should be some clarity, some honesty, and everything else. That these people should have boards where they find out what's happening on the ground, who is using their service, and what people use their service. And when it comes to using the service, we should look out. This is still the month of October. We walk around and, the elderly and our seniors. These are things that the elderly and seniors need to be protected from these nickel and diamond situation that's going on. Because, look here, I paid $50 on the 23rd of this month, and my phone is prompting me that for a plan. That not for just run straight to the money cap. And my phone is prompting me as of this morning that my credit is running out.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. I paid for $50, and it all gone. Gone. Anyway.
No, don't go yet. I know that you may have some familiarity with this issue. We're getting some, or I'm hearing about unusual situations or negative experiences that some of the census takers are having when they go to residences to conduct their work. I have heard of one situation where a non-generational person ran them out of their yard. Get out of my yard! Get out of my yard! And
I've heard about that.
And things of that nature. Now, if what people need to realize, or they should realize, is that the censuses that are done, they're done for a particular purpose. If you have somebody illegally in your house, an illegal worker or someone who's overstayed their time, the census persons are not interested in that. If you have a violation, a code violation that planning department or the electrical board would be interested in, the census people are not interested in that. Based on the information that we're getting, they have been vaccinated. I'm not sure whether or not they're tested on a regular basis after being vaccinated, but the way that I'm hearing that some members of the public are treating census takers when they go to their house is deploring, and something needs to be done about it if it is true.
Well, I think that, I know that the census enumerator are bound by, I would call it a duty of care, and I think a law that they can't peep nor squeak. That right there, I think, is a shortcoming in whether it's a policy or rule or whatever it is. It's a shortcoming to burden those people with that level of secrecy that they can't talk for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Now, I know personally, I am supposed to be enumerated too. I don't want my census taker to take my information and broadcast it all over the Cayman Islands. But I would also expect that those people deserve to be treated like they're human beings, decently. And if you can't talk at all, to me, that frightens most people. It would frighten me into not being able to say, well, I am not being treated decently en masse, for them to get up and say, you know what? We are having problems, and I know that they are having problems, so they can't talk. They can't talk. So it behooves somebody, the minister or somebody, the whole government. That's what I vote for, I vote because we ain't got no army, and our guy just reset, and that's to shoot me, not to protect me. I don't believe that. That's why I go out and vote for. I have voted every election since I was 18 years of age, and I'll soon be 88, So, listen, guys, you need to be more proactive and to have seen this, but I will not connect with people on the ground, because people like me could tell you that it's difficult to do a survey, or call it a census, or it's just a survey. To do a survey in this country, and who you think the fight is coming from is not who it's coming from. It's coming from people who, when they pick up their teacup, their little finger go up in the air. It's coming from people who, when they go downtown, listen, I got work to do. I got this big international thing to run. You understand? That's where it's coming from. It's not coming from the little people there.
Yep.
And the other ones who should feel privileged about being here, about get out of my yard. I heard hear about that too.
Yeah.
It is bad out there for them. It is really bad for them, and they not come cleaning off the top of their heads. I know we're all human, and some may do that, but it's an issue. It's an issue, and I really hope that whichever minister that this belongs to picks up the big stick and begin to look at where you can do what you would do in America. I want to call it, pull back, claw back.
Yeah.
Claw back. Something to give these people some break of pressure, because they're out in this hot sun, and let me tell you, the sun is hot. For people who up in air-conditioned car and air-conditioned house, the sun is hot. And most people doing this because they need $1 or $2, especially in these COVID times. Allow them to make a little money, but they don't have to make it with their faces down in the mud with people pressing down on them and spitting on them and crapping on them and all kinds of things. But I know how my IT people, oh God, are asking the IT minister, please show up and tell us something, because these companies are reeling and nickeling and diming the poor people of this country.
Got you. Okay. Got to go to a break now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
For that. And just very quickly, I just want to add to that. It seems as if, some of the mentality that has been displayed when it comes to COVID-19 vaccination is the same type of mentality that we're seeing now when it comes to census takers and stuff like that. And that needs to be addressed. It needs to be curtailed, and if the law allows, if the person does not cooperate, that they can be charged, then they should be charged as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
Had a look at those investment options yet?
Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Thank you, Cayman, for doing your part to help prevent the spread of COVID-19, for getting vaccinated, for practicing social distancing, for wearing your mask, for adhering to quarantine protocols, for the sacrifices you've made, and for stepping up in these tough times. The changes haven't been easy, but they are working. So keep going, and don't forget, we must protect those who cannot protect themselves. Visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus to learn more.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners, in response to the information that I shared about banks, financial institutions, and charges, it says, by the way, on the bank topic, one of my banks recently introduced a point-of-sale charge of 20 cents for debit card transactions. Doesn't this run counter to encouraging the move to a cashless society? We saw what happened during the lockdown when remittances were stopped, where a lot of the immigrant workers did not have a bank account as well. That's a good point there as well. So going to, we spoke, one of our callers spoke about the Monetary Authority. I've gone to their website, and I will share with you their information about them, their vision statement, and everything. So the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, known as the CIMA, began operations in January of 1997. It was established as a body corporate under the Monetary Authority Act, which was brought into force on that same date, the 1st of January 1997. Their mission is to protect and enhance the integrity of the financial services industry of the Cayman Islands. Now, that mission to protect the financial services industry of the Cayman Islands, I'm not sure, I wonder whether or not that financial services industry includes the customers of the financial services industry as well. I hope and I trust that is the case. What are their values? Their values are teamwork. We empower each other to work at our productive best. Accountability. We hold ourselves and each other accountable for our responsibilities and commitments. In terms of excellence, we aspire to the highest standards of performance. As far as collaboration is concerned, we achieve common goals through successful working relationships. And I'm going to just add there, those successful working relationships not only have to be with the institutions, but also with the customers of those institutions. As far as integrity is concerned, they encourage and expect honest and ethical behavior by all of their employees. As far as respect is concerned, they honor the public trust by showing respect to those with whom they interact, considering different points of view and ensuring people are treated the way we would like to be treated, we being the monetary authority. And as far as its creation is concerned, the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority was created from the merger of the Financial Services Supervisory Department of the Cayman Islands government and the Cayman Islands Currency Board. The former, that is the Financial Services Supervision Department, responsibility, duties, and activities of these two bodies now fall to the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. It goes on to say that the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, however, was not established just to continue what was already in place under a different guise, but rather to enhance Cayman's ability to maintain a well-regulated financial services regime and monetary stability. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. This is Minister Kenneth Bryan. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Minister. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. I was just driving from one meeting to the other and overheard you talking about the census and the persons potentially not wanting to do the census is what I gathered.
Yes.
But I thought it was important that I call in and encourage everybody how vital it is that every single person in this country takes a census. Because without the data collected from that, we cannot make the right decisions to better the lives of our people. For so long, government after government, leaders after leaders have been making decisions based on what they feel is happening in the community, and we haven't had enough reliable data to make the right decisions to get good results. And it's so important, particularly in this pandemic, when it comes to the coronavirus. The number one thing that I think most people want to know exactly what our population is. And if there's a large percentage of persons who are resistant to this, it can make it a life risk by not knowing exactly where we're at. And our numbers could be off, our predictions and our decision-making can be off from a government perspective. So I take this opportunity to please and beg everybody to encourage your family and friends, your co-workers, your church brothers and sisters. It's so important for you to take that. If we don't have the right information, we can't make the right decisions. So again, please take part if you haven't already. If they came by and you missed them, call them back up and let them know a time that you can be available. But you have to do the form. It's not only legally mandatory, but it's important from a decision-making perspective, so we can make a better Cayman.
Yep, it certainly is.
I'll leave it there. I just want to put that encouragement out there. God bless everybody who's listening. God bless the Cayman Islands.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And one of our listeners also has a suggestion here, and they say that I think that if the resident is unwilling to have the census worker come into their house or apartment, they should give them their contact details and have them complete the interview over the phone. The census worker should have copies of the questions that they can give to the person. Person goes on to say, I guess the census office would not want to advertise this as everyone would likely opt for it, as we are all afraid of the coronavirus. We know that some people will not cooperate just because they can. Sad that we are getting so much kickback, and most of it is not because of corona. And that is, I agree with that caller. And in particular, that last part, it has nothing to do with corona whatsoever. Sometimes it's people's suspicion, about government's intentions. in the past, we have had situations where persons say, "Oh, they're doing the census; they want to know," or when there's another survey that is done, for households in terms of cost of living, or they want to know how much you earn and stuff, so that they can impose income tax on you and things of that nature as well. And then we have some people here who, unfortunately, we have granted Caymanian status and permanent residence to who come from jurisdictions where they may not have ever seen a census taker before, or they have no interest whatsoever in terms of whether or not the government conducts a census, as long as they're able to put bread and butter and water and milk and sodas on their table. They don't give a hoot about anything else, and that's all they're in for in terms of the ride in the Cayman Islands, for what they can get out of it, but not in terms of what they should give in return. Just my words, folks, just my words, so hold me to that, nobody else. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very grateful. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. I was just calling regarding the census. I just wanted to add a little comment there.
Sure.
But you said part of it already. but anyway, first I'd like to say that I did my census interview, but I did it over the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to be, I just admit it, I'm paranoid about the virus. So I'm trying my very best not to have contact with anyone, and especially if I don't know if they're vaccinated or not. And so the person came, was very pleasant, introduced herself. This was from the gate. So I just asked her kindly, can we do this over the phone? And that's how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can say to you, which you said already, and I noticed from way back, because I had done the census with the government, I think back in 91. And some of the kickback that we were getting was for the people who didn't want to do it. They all have this idea that the government has an ulterior motive, and tax was the number one thing. But I remember then that what we did, because as you have said, and other people have said, one of the main things we want to know is the population. So I was a supervisor back then, and what I did was, even if the person flat out refused to do the interview, I still counted them, so that at least, because we knew who they were, where they lived, so I still counted them, that at least we had a number. If we didn't have that information. And if the government wanted to take it further, they knew exactly who the person was. So somebody higher up could have gone, and it was the ESO office that was in charge of it. So someone higher up, could have gone out if they definitely wanted to have the information. So I just wanted to say that I encourage everyone to do it. As far as I know, every civilized country in the world does a census. It's not for the purpose of taxing people, because some of these countries tax you already. And for anyone who's refusing to do it, in my opinion, it means they have something to hide. And I think the government should look at that very strongly and perhaps take some action against it. As you say, if you're here living, you're getting something out of it. They're not asking you to pay them. They're just asking you to help them to get information that is necessary. So I just wanted to say there's no hurt, no physical injury in doing it or anything. And if they want to share my information, by all means, because I have nothing to hide. So I did mine, and I would encourage everyone to do it. And if they are uncomfortable about having, a person come into their home, then just nicely say to them, can we do this over the phone?
Exactly. Okay.
And they have tablets. It's not even paper. It's on tablets, and it's very easy, to do one question, and it takes them to the other, and it prompts it in less than 5 minutes. You're over. I mean, you have a big household, because obviously you need more information.
Right. Okay.
But I would say to everyone, please do it. Be nice to the people. No need to be rude. They are dressed properly. They're wearing masks, and I think they might have even had on, can't say for sure, but looked like they were wearing, protective clothing, PPE, whatever. So there's no fair. As I said, it's just me being paranoid why I asked to do it over the phone.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And very quickly, one of our listeners says persons who have access to the internet can also go ahead and read the questions so that you can be prepared when the census worker shows up at your home. So you can actually be proactive in this as well. Time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brandsource Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brandsource Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Did you know our reefs are home to over 45 different kinds of corals and more than 125 different species of fish? Cayman's amazing coral ecosystems provide so many benefits to our lives. Come celebrate Cayman's corals at Coral Fest, November 6th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Grand Caymanian, former Holiday Inn in Safe Haven. Entry is free. Come meet Cayman's coral scientists and learn why corals are so important to us. There will also be tons of Coral Kid fun and awesome prizes. Email coral@gov.ky or visit doe.ky for more info.
COVID-19 vaccines are the only way forward in reopening our borders safely. Take the COVID-19 vaccine to protect yourself and the ones you love, especially those of us who cannot get vaccinated. For more information on the COVID-19 vaccine, visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers queued up. Let's take the callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Sir O.C.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, ma'am?
And this is your Seddon Road colleague.
Yes, and I'll be in touch with you in terms of what you sent to me.
But I wanted to make a point on the census. And it's unfortunate, O.C., that I have lived to the age that I have lived and to see Cayman turn the way it is. Everything we're anti. We have a suspicion. I don't know how we live, and how we want our children to gather information.
Mm-hmm. But we weren't like that. We weren't like that before.
No, the census is for us, our people, for history, to gather information, whether present, future, or historical.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So why are we so anti? Anyway, I hope that we may be able to change one of these days. But really what I'm calling you is that I'm speaking on behalf of our chairman, Mr. Dale Ramon, in terms of asking you to do a little advertisement for the Central Scranton Committee.
Okay.
We met with our Honorable Minister Kenneth last night to talk about the park, the Central Park that is being set up in Central Scranton, not just for Central Scranton, but for the whole of Georgetown and the Cayman Islands. But we're having a big major cleanup on Saturday, this Saturday, starting at 6 a.m. And we're inviting, in particular, all the children of Seddon Road.
Okay.
That is not just children the age of me I'm talking about, and younger. We make history of children of Seddon Road. So we want to make sure that this park is going to be between the government and the Central Scranton is going to be one that will be useful to the people of the Cayman Islands and to all the older persons and to the young people and for our history. So I'm asking if you could advertise that.
Definitely. And that's this Saturday?
This Saturday, 6 a.m., starting 6 a.m. At Central Scranton. We are going to do some, we want to clean up the place and take down some trees and look at, shape it up a little bit as we get ready to do further work to develop the park.
Yeah, and we know the last time that was done, there was a huge turnout, huge response to it.
Yes, and I know the minister was on just now, but he's in a meeting to go. But he came to our meeting last night and very clearly and emphatically and emotionally made the point about having this park set up. And he is with it. And he assures us that his government is with it.
Okay.
So I know he would normally come on to your radio show, but he's a busy man now. So I've taken it since I got my booster shot, and it's given me some energy to do things. I thought I would do this today.
Will do, and I'll on Friday I will repeat, God's willing, I will repeat it again. Ensure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too. Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Just a note on the census. We call it. I have not been contacted as yet, so I'm hoping that they come by soon.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to get it over and done with.
Right. Now, I don't know if I think whether or not they have targeted certain areas, certain residents. And my question that I would add to what you've said, there would be, suppose no one comes to your house, but you want to be included in the census, whether or not you can contact the census office and say, I'm willing to be interviewed, I'm willing to provide my information, and whether or not that can be done, it can be done on a voluntary basis, because we know that they don't necessarily go to every household on the island.
Well, they should. Yeah. One thing also, OC, on that note, is we have you would say the secrecy law now that they can't divulge your information.
Exactly. Yeah, data protection. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, come on. I mean, what's so wrong with giving your information now that you know you're protected?
Yep.
So it's something that we need to know, and we should be, you would say, bursting at our seams to do it, because it also helps. You would say help the government to know which way to turn and which foot to put forward.
Definitely.
So my little piece is like the vaccine: get vaccinated, get census.
Thank you very much for that as well. I hope I didn't misspeak there when I said that they don't necessarily go to every household. I'm not sure. I have to sort of like put an asterisk by that. I stand to be corrected in relation to that. Yeah. Okay, let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, morning, my friend. How art thou?
Not too bad, man. Pretty good. Some nice weather up here. Yeah. OC, I haven't met the census woman, I think it is, that came by yet.
Okay.
And, I think my wife did most of it, So, but I think it's sort of important for us to have a census done in the Cayman Islands. I mean, just everywhere else does it, because one of the main reasons, I think, this is just my observation, when people invest in a country, they want to know, first of all, the population. Well, in a business, any sort of business, it depends on the population.
Yes.
Because it's very important that we have those things or those numbers there, And a lot of people in Cayman might think that they want to get personal with you. Well, if you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't have a problem. That's how I look at it.
So true, yep.
But on another note, OC, just a few days ago, I understand that the government is very hush-hush about what is going on with the police station. You know, and I wonder why they have to be hush-hush. I mean, it's the people of the Cayman Islands money that they're sort of controlling or making or doing whatever with it.
Yep.
I mean, why you have to be? I mean, why they can't be transparent enough to say, listen, this is what we're going to do, this is what we intend to do, or this is what we plan to do. Something, but nothing. Nothing. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, for anybody that really lives in the Cayman Islands, when the government remains so silent about things like that, you know, why they have to be like this?
It makes you suspicious, right?
Exactly, man. You know? No, OC, like I told you before, just after Paloma, they spent something like in the range of close to $400,000 on our building, you know.
Wow.
And I mean, if it any less or more, I'd be glad to hear it, you know, but that is what I understand. Now, for them to say now that they go tear it down, you know, I mean, whether they tear it down or not, you know, I'm right next to it, and I really need to know what's happening. And not one soul on this government that is supposed to be in power now. They do have one word to say. I mean, what can they expect in the next election when they don't get back in?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean.
So the persons that you have inquired of in relation to this, what they have said, they don't know what's happening?
No answer, OC. No answer. And not that they don't know my name and they know my voice, they know my locations, all two places, Cayman and Grand Cayman, and also the back. They know. So why?
Yep.
That's my big question. Okay. Why they have to be so silent about those things? I mean,
we'll continue to ask the question. We'll continue to ask it.
All right, I'll see you doing a great job, man.
Take care. Thanks. Thank you very much. Ms. Susan, we're going to take a commercial break. We do have one more caller on hold. And after that caller, I want to share something with you, just a carry on from something that I shared earlier about work permits in 1965 in the Cayman Islands as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza, open Monday to Friday 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
The Department of Commerce and Investment is asking clients to use their online services at www.dci.gov.ky for trade and business amendments, grant and renewal applications, and more. While the DCI counters remain open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, you can stay safe, avoid the line, and save time by applying online for business services at dci.gov.ky. For questions about the DCI's online service or other licensing, enforcement, or regulatory matters, please email info@dci.gov.ky.
Is your child involved in remote learning at a Cayman Islands government school? Rest assured that the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education Services are committed to ensuring continuity of learning for all our students. In addition to providing our over 5,000 students with laptops, our schools have developed individualized educational plans, identified suitable online learning platforms, and continue to prepare students and parents to use these platforms in line with the COVID-19 guidance for educational institutions. View the complete guidance document at www.exploregov.ky/coronavirus. This is a message from the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education Services.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to make this the last call for the show. We have two now. Okay, so last two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, O.C.
Hey, morning, my friend. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Beautiful weather up here in the Brock, like Lord Land say. Yeah, I was listening to the talk show yesterday evening.
Okay.
With Dwayne and Mr. Marion.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful show.
Right up your alley.
Yeah. Hey, listen to me. I got educated people on board now, so you know how that go, right? And he's like Caymanian. Young, educated Caymanian. I'll take off my hat to the gentleman. And the thing that is going to be going all the way, this discrimination got to stop now. Right? One segment of the community can't make the money off of this. So we're changing that. And I know the bigger minister in charge of agriculture now, Mr. J.E. Banks, that him and Mr. Orred will be working together. I know that.
Okay.
And I got the petition. Anybody can back with you coming over. If you want to sign the petition, I have it at Island Man Rum Shop in Watling Place. Right?
And that petition that you had started before that, the information that is on there, you can use that now for this current one, or are you starting a new one?
No, Mr. Orred. Marion got one there. He got it detailed down to the max. I can send you a copy of it, but you should read it. I mean, like I said, this is a lawyer now. He got
okay.
To the max. Also.
Got you.
Yeah, no barefoot. And I know barefoot rocking in the morning. We be coming with the necktie to necktie. Education with education. Now, see, I got a motivation. He got an education. So we can get the ball rolling now. It's time for the Caymanian. Those that can't read and write or can't get no job nowhere else, they can work on a farm, grow and read. They don't have to buy it. They don't have to go to jail for it anymore. There is a God. Somebody is looking after the Caymanian now. For the lad, the PPM, they gave it to the rich people, to the doctors, to the pharmacists. Let's give it to everybody now. The poor man in the bush, make him come out of there, make him make an honest living. Farming is hard working, but it's honest, and I love it. You understand?
Yep.
Yeah, well, then I will see. That's my 2 cents.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. When I read the article, because I was unable to listen to Sterling yesterday, but when I read the article, I saw, right away you came to mind.
Thank you very much.
All right. You take care. Let's grab the last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Morning. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah. You know, you're aware that the petition came in hard on the ground here 2 years, right?
Yes.
It's very credible, legitimate. And I called you on and Mr. Wisconsin 2 weeks ago on Southern Show. They comment on it. For years now, people write it off and the raw rat that. You understand? But to see the point I recall this morning now, when I call you Monday and I tell you some fraudulent the property that came from my house, my premises, you know? What was it? Trying to know my affiliation, political affiliation, really.
Okay.
You recall that? I know, they said it's become Sunday for the house, and I tell them, they say have the confidential, the source to be there, and no reports, no anything about it, whoever, right? And I hide nothing, you understand? And what be inquisitive or what database or whatever. Like again, the fella now, he was very recognizable. He had the indigo vest, the tablet and stuff. You understand?
Yep.
So, like I say again now, my WOC, it high time now. And they free up the herbs. You understand? people campaign on it, Mark Lewis campaign hard, and some people jump in a bandwagon and get their votes. Fulfill it, get to the point. You understand? We go through the pandemic, or endemic, whatever. You understand? But it's time, get the ball rolling.
Got you.
I spend $1,000 on a draw, instead of people doing harder stuff. You understand? But I understand things. So, it's high time now, get the ball rolling.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much. You do the same, and please stay safe as well. So one of our, I think I'll be able to get to this article as well. One of our listeners said, good morning, says that they, I won't mention a bank that they were involved with, but they said that there's a notice that said as of September 2021, one cannot withdraw less than $1,000 from one's saving account. Person said that they asked the teller, what should I do if I only have a small amount of savings and I just wanted $100 at that particular time? And the person says that the teller said to them that they would have to close the account, and they want to see if we can check into that. Well, my advice to you, I don't know if you listened last week when we had members from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Cooperative Credit Union here in the studio with us, but you should check to see whether or not you would qualify to be a member of the credit union if you have a brother or sister, mother or father, a child or some connection that you may be able to join the credit union, take your money out of that commercial bank and put it in the credit union. They won't give you such a hard time, a difficult time, if you don't have a whole lot of money in there. So I would say to you, check out the credit union to see whether or not you qualify and take your services elsewhere if they don't want to accommodate you. So, a few shows ago, I shared with you the fact that the work permit law was being considered in the Legislative Assembly. Some of you may recall also that when Mr. Ernest Panton retired as an assistant administrator, that Mr. Ernest Panton, when he retired as an assistant administrator, became the public relations officer for the Cayman Islands. So his comments in relation to the article, the editorial that was written in the Tradewinds newspaper about the work permit law, he says that I am not a legally trained man and do not pretend that I am capable of interpreting laws as a barrister or solicitor could. But it is a well-known fact that most laws are based on common sense. Most. I'm glad to use that word, most. He goes on to say that there has been controversy over the work permit law recently enacted by the Legislative Assembly. Expressions of fear and even remarks of disgust have been made about the law. Here, let me quote an extract from the memorandum of objects and reasons, he said, for the law. And it quotes, the existing Cayman Islands immigration laws dealing with British subjects and aliens are not sufficient to control the advent here of Commonwealth immigrants whose arrival here seeking work could disrupt the economy of the islands. The principle of the law is to prohibit or regulate the employment here of any persons except Caymanians by the need to possess work permits. He goes on to say, let me first of all say that Caymanians cannot go to the United States or Canada and work unless they are legally admitted into those countries. Similarly, they cannot go to Great Britain or Jamaica to seek employment without work permits. What have the Cayman Islands got to offer in the way of work for Commonwealth immigrants or aliens? We have Example, no factories, no oil refineries, no transport problems, no need for farm labor. What work there is can, for the time being, be carried out by Caymanians or non-Caymanians who have been engaged in occupations which the new law will not affect. Goes on to say, let me try to give an example in support of the work permit law. Within the last 10 or 15 years, we have seen some splendid work done throughout the islands by Caymanians in the way of homes, offices, hotels, and supermarket construction. Can anyone imagine what the reaction would be amongst the builders and craftsmen if outside labor was brought in to replace them? It would not be fair. Certainly, there is need for some professional men and artisans and for certain businesses not carried out by Caymanians, which would be beneficial. But what the Caymanian can do, by all means, encourage him to do it and protect him in doing it. You know, funny thing is, we're still saying that today. We have non-Caymanians who are gainfully employed amongst us, sharing a way of life and contributing towards the economy of our islands. The work permit law is not designed to frighten off other non-Caymanians from coming amongst us. I am certain the Chief Immigration Officer will consider all applications for work permits on their merits. So, and that was the PRO, the Public Relations Officer, Mr. Ernest Panton, speaking on behalf of the government of the Cayman Islands in terms of the work permit law. But you heard the sentiments that he raised there in terms of, if Caymanians can do the work, we don't need to bring people in. Folks, that was in 1965. That was in 1965, and 56 years later, folks, we are still saying the same thing. So the question is, have we made any progress? So two answers that we have. One answer in relation to the banking situation and withdrawing $100. We're told that the person could attend the ATM machine to withdraw the $100. But what if they don't have an ATM card? What if they don't have the skills to go and work that ATM card as well? I will be honest with you. I have had a bank account. I have an ATM card. I don't use it. I have never used an ATM card in my life. So there are others who are in a similar situation. As far as the census is concerned, I am advised that each enumerator has to do about 100 residences, and they want to interview all of the households as well when there is more than one household member there. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to Worthy Charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling, Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brandsource Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice. No